One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. Hey, if you live in the Portland area or you live in the Denver area and you've heard of Fire on the Mountain and you've never been there, you should remedy that as soon as possible.
It's time to go.
It is definitely time to go. The weather's getting cooler and you need something hot in your belly that tastes delicious. That's the spot. Fire on the Mountain. Go check it out. The best chicken wings you ever had in your life. Specials at each location. There's 3 locations here in Portland, 2 in Denver. And Apple, what were you talking about just a minute ago? All these amazing beers that they're brewing up.
I was talking about that. I mean, first of all, this is like such an awesome place to go hang out with your family and friends.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Very
Like, it's
inviting.
got a great atmosphere, very ambient, and then of course they've got these amazing beers that Apple's going to talk about.
They got well, like all the craft beers. They got special ones for the certain seasons and everything.
You're
like,
a special one for a season.
They have the electric. I am a stout person, and they have the electric mud, which is a chocolate oatmeal stout. Wonder and Rye, which is a golden ale, which they say pairs great with their wings for a palate cleanser.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And then I love that this one's just witty. It's a Hoosier Amber with a question mark, like the Hoosiers. Hoosier Amber.
Get it?
Yeah, and they have their staples: Redheaded Stranger, Lefty Lager. I mean, you got to go in and check out. They got a great list of craft beers for you to sample that they make on their own. If you go to the Fremont location, that's where the brewery is. You can see it. It's right next door to the location there.
Like they're saying, this is a super dope place to go hang out.
Let's go kick it.
If you're looking for a place to like have your holiday party with your office, or go kick it before a concert to go get something to eat.
Have some fun, like meeting collaboration over some wings.
And they have deep fried Oreos, man.
Dang.
So any place that has deep fried Oreos, they got me. But
good luck saving room for dessert, though.
That is true. You're right, Apple.
Totally. Each location has specials each month, so go to their website at portlandwings.com and check out what they got going on at each of the locations. Like I said, there's 3 here in Portland, 2 in Denver, and check this out. If you don't live in these areas and you hear this and your mouth's watering or your stomach's empty, go online to portlandwings.com, get yourself some of their sauce, make that stuff at home, listen to No Simple Road. It'll be a whole transcendent chicken wing experience that you'll have. Even if you sat in the lotus position and you ate the chicken wings, I think you might levitate. That's right. Fire on the Mountain. Go check it out. What? You want me to wait? I'm not waiting. Here we go.
We don't expecting you to wait.
Shop Tour Bus.
Shop Tour Bus.
That's right, guys.
Look, everybody,
they got a lot going on.
Here's the thing. Holidays are not around the corner anymore.
They are
right in front of your house, hanging out, going, hey, what are you going to get us for the holidays? Well,
True that.
go to shoptourbus.com and get the Grateful Dead inspired merch that they have, and then give that to somebody that you love that's in your life that you want to see smile over the holidays, because that is exactly what's going to happen when they open that hand designed box with that all over print. What is it? All over print.
Design.
Thank you. All over the box with all the extras that are in there. And some of you folks are going to get a Grateful Dead Miracle cassette tape bootleg.
A bootleg.
So you're not just going to like, oh, hey, I got you something for the holidays, man. And you give it to them.
It's thoughtful.
They open it up and they're like, oh my God, I got a cassette tape. It's bootleg.
And you know what they're going to do too? They're going to smile when they open it. They're going to smile if they get that bootleg, and wait till they put you or them who you gift this to, put it on. And when you have the comfort, they're going to smile again.
That's right.
And they got a bunch of stuff going on right now.
You're going to smile because you're getting free shipping. When you put in the promo code No Simple Road when you check out.
All one word, No Simple Road.
You are going to get free shipping. What do they got going on, Apple? Tell me.
They got a lot.
What?
I told you, they got a lot going on.
They are from the lot.
They have the numerical design, and they have that in the hoodies and the T-shirts available now. And what is it? In November, they're dropping the Attics of My Life design that they just came up with. And now they have the Not Fade Away run of tees and hoodies with that Cadillac DeVille on the front.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They got a lot. They're busy over there.
So, yep, it's that time of year. Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word. Get yourself something. Get somebody else something. Get something. Make yourself happy.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Sweden, Germany, Netherlands, Germany, United Kingdom, all the way up until Ireland, United Kingdom. Then they come back, take a Christmas break, and then kick it off December 30th again in New Orleans.
You know, I hit record while you were saying all that just because it was so interesting. They're taking a break for Thanksgiving. That
For
right there,
Thanksgiving and Christmas to be with family, and then just continue this amazing tour that Billy Strings and the boys and Billiy Failing have been on.
Hey everybody, we didn't see you there. How you doing? This is Aaron.
And Mel.
And Apple.
Just kidding. Hey now, No Simple Road family. We're back. And we are super stoked this week to have Billiy Failing.
Woo! Billiy
Yeah,
Failing.
Billy.
Hanging out with us this
Yay.
week from Billy Strings Band.
Our
And
banjo brother.
yeah, man. This is a momentous occasion for No Simple Road. We've got one more member of Billy Strings Band on the show. We're going to work our way across that stage slowly but surely. And we had a blast talking with Billy about his journey and his life and all the good stuff. And you're going to hear all about it here in a minute. And hey, if this is your first time listening to No Simple Road, welcome.
Welcome.
We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
welcome to your new favorite podcast.
And you're asking yourself probably at this point, like, why do I care about these people? Who cares if they talk, to somebody? What do I want to hear from them for? Well, let me tell you, we are aficionados. Dare I say experts? I'm totally kidding. We are just music fans like you guys, man. And we just happen to have started this podcast and love having these conversations. So
yeah, we get to talk to really awesome people about
Yep.
some really fun stuff.
Yeah. And, it's amazing how much just even one single conversation can change the way that you experience live music. Like talking with the musicians and then going and seeing them play really did alter the whole concert going experience for us. And I hope that that's what these conversations do for all of you out there. Like, we all love Billy Strings. We love Billiy Failing. We love the music. And then you hear them and you hear who they are and who the person is. And you go to the show and that experience you're having at the show is now deeper because you're connected to that person energetically. And also like you're rooting for your friend that's up there jamming on the stage. And that's fucking cool. And it's a huge honor for us to be able to do the show in the first place, but it's even double huge honor for us to be able to like be involved in your live music experience and helping make that deeper and
help you
cooler.
get to know somebody better with their home life, their personal life, their likes. It really does connect you. And that's our goal. And if you are a listener, then welcome back again.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah, we got to get a soundbite of that song.
Well, yeah, I'm
Of the
sure it's
welcome
out
back,
there.
Yeah, and we in the last few weeks have changed the format of the show. So what we used to do is we would have the conversation with whoever we were talking to, and then after the conversation with the artist or musician or whoever, then there would be like another 1 hour after that of us just hanging out talking to each other. And we had a suggestion from a listener a few weeks ago from Skydog, and he was like, "Hey man, why don't you guys make the interviews standalone episodes, and then your thing that you do at the end, make that a standalone episode and put it out on a different day, so we're getting 2 drops in the same week." And we were like, you know what? Let's give it a shot and see how it goes. And I think it's gone pretty good.
I think so too.
I mean, we've gotten good feedback.
So far, so good. I haven't heard anybody mention that they didn't like it. So that's a plus.
Oh, and I like on our end too. It got pretty interesting because so far. I mean, Aaron's posed a couple interesting questions that took us down a rabbit hole of like we learned about each other as well as ourselves, discussing stuff like talking to yourself and
so so the reason I say that. So what we're So what we're doing is on Fridays we're dropping these episodes with our interviews, and then on Mondays we're dropping the standalone episode of us just hanging out. And this coming Monday is Halloween. I almost said Thanksgiving. This coming
You've been
Monday,
saying that all week.
Yeah, this coming Monday is Halloween, and because it's a holiday, we wanted to do something kind of special for all of you. And same listener, Skydog, hit me up a few weeks ago and was like, "Hey man, I'm going to put together a quiz show for you guys, and would you guys be down to do a quiz show with me?" We were like, "Fuck yeah, we would." So last weekend we dude, he knocked that shit out of the park.
Yeah.
Like literally knocked it out of the park. He put together an entire, like, how would you describe it?
An entire quiz show. He got 5 segments, wrote 9 questions for each segment, created an entire chaos round that changed the trajectory, whether if you were winning or losing by that point, and made it super fun. And he also tailor-made it to our knowledge base, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of Grateful Dead questions in there. There was...
Yeah, he threw some trickery in there too, and
yeah.
some fun things. We had so much fun with this. It's like made our Sunday, and we were talking about it all that night and for several days afterwards. It was funny, the questions that it brought up, and wait till you hear this. We had so much fun doing this. We were laughing. The time flew by like that.
Yeah, it was like an hour
really
and 40 minutes. So my point in
I want to do it every week.
yeah, right. My point in telling you that is that on Monday we're going to be dropping the quiz show for all of you as a little special treat for Halloween, the trick or treat day. So yeah, man, that's coming up, and
it got highly competitive.
It did get highly competitive.
Things are still kind of terse around here. So.
But let me tell you, nothing. It pales in comparison to having a member of the Billiy Strings Band on No Simple Road. We are super honored that Billiy Failing spent some time with us and hung out.
Always
man.
grateful for the time that the musicians get to spend with us, but definitely, especially in between tours, when you just kind of want to kick it and leave that life behind for a minute, and to be able to spend some time talking about, all your amazing accomplishments and fun things that you're up to. It was really awesome to spend time.
The meteoric rise of Billiy Strings and the Billiy Strings Band, and they are very sought after for everything right now, and for any of them to come and sit down with us is really cool.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it, Billy. Thank you so much, man, for being so gracious with your time and hanging out with us. And it was a blast. And anytime you want to come back and promote anything, we're here for you, brother. And so everybody, I think we're going to get you to the interview. Does that sound good?
We're going to do any business?
Yeah. We got a
little bit of business.
Going to say we got to do business first.
Do a little business and then get to it. Okay. That sounds good.
Go to www.nosimpleroad.com. That is where you can sign up for the No Simple Road newsletter. You can get No Simple Road merch there. It is the holiday season. And you know what? What better thing to get somebody that is part of the No Simple Road family than some No Simple Road merch?
Yeah.
T-shirts and hoodies and coffee cups and fun stuff that you will actually use and that will look good on you and the people that you love. You can also, if you don't want to get like another hoodie or another T-shirt, and you don't know what to get somebody, Mel and I do 1 hour tarot readings with the Grateful Dead tarot deck. So you can sign up for a tarot reading there, and you will get a 1 hour tarot reading over Zoom with Mel and I, and you will get a playlist based on the cards that you pull, because each card in the Grateful Dead tarot deck represents a Grateful Dead character or song.
That's right.
You will get a synopsis of your reading and an audio recording of it, and pictures of all the cards that you pull, because those cards are
that's
dope.
A pretty good and super fun deal.
Yeah. So you can click on the merch tab at nosimpleroad.com, and the first thing that comes up there is a tarot reading, and you can sign up and schedule it there. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, if you want to do something really amazing for the holidays, you can become a monetary contributor to the No Simple Road cause of spreading love, light, and happiness into the universe by going to patreon.com/No Simple Road and becoming a patron. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month. That's what? That's less than a quarter show. It's 12.5 cents.
12.5 cents now.
Yeah.
If we're breaking it
Dang.
down.
If you think that our interview with Billiy Failing is worth 12.5 cents, you can go to patreon.com, sign up, become a patron, and then you will be putting fuel in the...
12.5 cents ain't going to buy you much in this world, but it'll buy you a dope episode of No Simple Road.
That's
okay,
right.
all bullshit aside, name me one thing, either of you, that 12.5 cents will buy you?
No, I can't think of anything.
A dime and 2 pennies, and then you're going to have to give up a half a cent to get that. Nothing.
Nothing. I would say that those, maybe the bazooka gum things, you can maybe get that.
Maybe. It costs you maybe.
Where are you going to find the solo one? That's hard to find.
Okay,
yeah, ain't nobody selling dime candy anymore, Grandpa.
Whatever, man. If you want to do something for the show that doesn't cost anything, you can go to Apple Podcasts and you can leave a 5-star review. You know what I did the other day?
What?
I went through my Apple Podcast app, the library on my Apple Podcast app, and I 5-starred every show that I follow on the Apple Podcast app.
Oh, that's great.
You know, because if I'm following them, I listen to them every week, and if I haven't given them a 5-star,
You owe
that's
them
not
that
fair.
much.
Yeah, so take a minute, just go through there and drop us a 5-star, or leave us a review in there. That would be super dope too. Has anybody left us any?
We
No,
have
I
not
just
got
looked.
a new review.
Did we get an October
Yes,
one?
we did.
Okay.
Mel got a birthday month one
sure
back on the
did.
17th.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well, then there's still a little time left. There's the weekend. Give us a Halloween review.
Ooh.
Then Mel will have 2 birthday month reviews,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what we can do for Aaron in November.
cool. All right. And you can call 971-808-1524. That number again is 971-808-1524.
And that is the tepid line.
That's right. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's
tepid.
You can call in, tell us a story about the last show you went to, that time you saw a wook shit his pants and have to run into porta potty, or you saw a naked guy fall out, or I don't know, you couldn't find your tent at the festival, or some kind of story. I don't
Or
know.
you can add to the No Simple Road cookbook, which
That's
is being
right.
worked on. We just need more submissions
Yeah,
so we
some
can
fun
bring it to fruition.
recipes.
Yeah.
Something that you do for how about a holiday recipe?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Throw
gotta
in
be.
some holiday, some spooky recipe, or a traditional Thanksgiving recipe from your culture or the way your family does it,
That'd be cool.
right?
Yeah. So that's 971-808-1524, the No Simple Road tepid line. And I think we're done with the business and we're ready to get on with the shoe.
I know I'm ready to listen.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. The last bit of business, like we always say, is open your mouth, tell a friend, tell a family member about us. There's something for everybody. We've had a lot of guests.
Yeah.
And like I said in the beginning, if this is your first time listening to No Simple Road, welcome to the family. We love you. Thanks so much for turning us on and tuning in and dropping in with us. And I really, really know you're going to dig this conversation with Billiy Failing. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Billiy Failing.
I'm going out, gonna leave behind the town and all the things that drag me down. And I don't know what's in store or where I'm headed for. Ain't a thing that's certain anymore. No, there ain't a thing that's certain anymore. And when the fog hangs all around, all you see is the cold hard ground. And the footprints left behind, not knowing what you'll find. Walking down that road with an easy mind. Walking down that road with an easy mind. And when you got no wind inside, there ain't no wind in yet to ride. The way is long, gonna take it slow. So many miles still left to go. So many miles still left to go. Lost count of days just staring at my feet. Seeing the weeks fly past, walking in my sleep. So it goes when all you do is play it safe and by the rules. It's the same old story we already know. Yeah, the same old story we already know. But when you got no wind inside, there ain't no wind in yet to ride. Way is long, gonna take it slow. So many miles still left to go. So many miles still left to go. clock wind down. I can't tell you much for sure, but I know just what it's for. When I'm on the road with an easy mind, gonna walk this road with an easy mind. 'Cause when you got no wind inside, there ain't no wind yet to ride. The way is long, gonna take it slow. So many miles still left to go. So many miles still left to go.
So it took me a minute to remember, but
What have
Here
you
we
been?
are.
Have you been busy or something?
Yeah,
Or
right.
no?
nah.
Just hanging out around the house, checking out the garden, you know.
Yeah.
Billy, I'm Aaron.
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Nice to meet you too, man.
And
You
you
got
don't
a
have your
microphone
microphone.
now.
And you don't have your microphone.
By the way.
Mel's just talking into
Yeah,
space.
I am.
Yep, that's Mel, as she said, and then I'm Apple, the third member here.
Right on. Good to meet you guys.
You too, man. You know, like Apple said, you've been a busy cat, Billy.
Been very busy. Yeah. It's all good stuff though.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
man. It's
Exciting time.
it's a trip to watch, man. Like from the outside of this, you know, as a fan and a spectator to what's going on, I can't even imagine how you feel. Like it's got to be the most surreal, trippy thing ever.
It is. Yeah. I mean, you know, kind of coming from, you know, where I started with Billy and kind of where we're at now, it's quite the transformation. It's all super exciting stuff.
I mean, we were looking up, like, you know, trying to do our research before getting on with you, and like, you were waiting tables, right? When
I was, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about like how that started, how you guys got together?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, if you rewind to, you know, 2013, 2014, kind of that range in there, you know, I was just out of college, kind of, you know, knew that I wanted to have a career in music, but, you know, it's the classic thing where, like, you know, it takes time for it to develop into something where you're able to support yourself. So I lived in New York for a while. I was waiting tables there and, you know, playing gigs at night. And that's actually, there was a bluegrass jam in New York City at a bar called Mona's.
Okay.
And, yeah, Billy and Don Julin were playing the City Winery, and they stopped by the Mona's jam after, you know, I think they were playing with Dell and Dog.
Oh shit. Okay.
City Winery, and you know, Billy and Don stopped by, and I was at the jam, and so that's actually originally where I met Billy. And so, you know, fast forward several months to a year, I moved to Nashville, and you know, again, it was kind of starting anew in a new city. So, you know, I was doing kind of whatever I needed to do to get to make ends meet. And actually, I was hanging out with my friend Josh Rilko and Lindsay Lou at their place back then. And they mentioned that Billy was moving to Nashville, and I had sort of, you know, I'd seen Billy and Don play at a festival called Romp, you know, just a little bit before that. And so I was like, you know, I had kind of a wild idea that maybe he'd be looking for a banjo player. So that's
what the fuck? Wow.
So
That's
it's just your
my
idea.
hopeful thinking at that point. And, you know, we kind of reconnected at that point, and I was able to kind of hop on Billy's train, so to speak.
Wow. You know, go ahead, Apple.
Well, I was just going to add. I was at the beginning. I was going to say that because, like we said, me and Aaron ended up reading the same article. We're in your hometown. We're up here in Portland, Oregon.
Oh wow!
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, dope! He's from Portland." And I saw like one of your favorite places to play is Revolution Hall.
Oh yeah,
which is one of our favorites. And then your brother, does your brother still work there?
Yeah, he does.
Right
Okay,
on.
that's
My
one of our
brother Ned
favorite. We
worked
go
at
there. It's like stepping back in time. It's like going to high school. It's like going to, to the assembly or something, and you go in that dope venue, and we just saw Teal and friends there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and then we had the extreme pleasure of seeing you and Billy playing out at Edgefield.
Oh yeah.
When you guys came for those
was
2 days, which they're starting to put on great events there again, and that place is so inviting and so comfortable. Even when it's sold out, there's room to dance and play and have fun. And you blew us away.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I had been bugging your manager prior to the shows, and like the Monday after, I started like, all right, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna send an email every other day if I don't hear anything until they tell me to fuck off or whatever. But man, it's
well, how does it feel for you to like come back home and like play these venues that you've been, that you have gone to yourself, and now you're on the other side? How does it feel for you looking out, playing in a beautiful, because it was such a beautiful night too, those nights, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's those are some of my favorite shows, or like being home playing for like my family and all my friends from home and stuff like that. It kind of makes it that much more special. And not to mention, I've been to a bunch of shows at the Edgefield and all those McMinimans venues, and it's just it's cool to kind of go there with this, with Billy and the band and all that.
Yeah.
There's definitely something special here in Portland. It's the musical community, the people that are going out to see live music here. It's a different animal. We actually came from Las Vegas like 6 years ago. That's where we all lived. And coming from there to here, it's a departure, man. Like when we first got here, I was like, we go to a show, I'd be like, it looks like the forest vomited people into the crowd of this place. Like, but it's definitely a different thing, man. And like, now that you've had the opportunity to basically go all over the place and play, do you see that like the scenes are different from place to place? Are you getting a feeling of like when you play a venue of what that city and what that crowd is like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, we have a lot of people who like kind of come on tour with us and stuff. So a lot of times we'll see kind of the same faces in the front row. But, generally speaking, like the vibe's a little different in each of the places, like Colorado is its own thing. Portland is its own thing, playing in the South, it's its own thing. I feel like every time we roll through Kentucky, it's like a wild and crazy party.
Right.
Even more so.
You mentioned the bluegrass scene in New York City. Like,
yes,
that's a thing.
That's definitely a thing. Yeah, there's a lot of great pickers up there.
Wow.
And actually, our new fiddle player Alex Hargraves lives there.
Okay.
Is, still doing the Brooklyn thing and part of that community, and that's a great bluegrass scene up there.
The success that you guys are seeing right now it's touching all music. It's really like, I feel like we're getting to see something really unique happen right now, because it's you guys are destroying genre.
Yeah, it's genreless. It seems like No Simple Road is 5 years old,
Almost 6,
right? And was it with Reed? What the first year was it? So we had talked with Reed Mathis a while back about the whole idea of genre and it like really kind of falling by the wayside. But, you know, in the years past before, say, the 2000s years, right? Like it was all about, you know, R&B, country music, you know, hip hop, and everything was so separated with no account for the artist's growth as a creator, you know, like you just kind of have to keep this pumping out the same type of music, same kind of album. With what Aaron was talking about with you and Billy, and what the band of you guys is doing is creating something that everyone enjoys.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you consider yourself a bluegrass player or not, which, I mean, from your perspective, what does that look like to you? I mean, it may be normal because that's all you know, but for like the older folks, like we've seen the specific genre categories before. So now to see this is something brand new for us. So how do you stand with that? Like, how do you see it?
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, everybody in the band has, you know, we're not necessarily exclusively like a bluegrass thing, like in terms of our influences. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the crowd that we're playing to, you know, it's super cool to see bluegrass people, to see, you know, people of all ages. You know, we when we played Lollapalooza a couple months ago, it was a bunch of we were playing right before Metallica, so it was a lot of kind of the metalhead crowd, and you know that it took them a second. They're kind of like, you know, sizing us up a little bit, but you know, it was cool to see them kind of getting into it by the end of the set as well.
That's the thing that like I've noticed is like the metalheads dig it, the trad bluegrass guys dig it, the newgrass guys dig it, people that like, you know, the outlaw country dig it, the jam band folks dig it, the deadheads bands. It's like it's this like intersection of everything. And you know, like we have a buddy, his name's Bryce, and he tours. He goes on tour with you guys when you're around, and
I know his boss. He wasn't happy when he just took off for 2.5 weeks.
He was wearing a shirt, and I'm sure you've seen it. Billy Strings saved music, right? And
yeah.
And I can't imagine from the flip side, from the stage side, for you guys as a band, seeing stuff like that, and then feeling that, like that responsibility, I guess. Do you feel that like from the fans that they're putting that on you, or do you feel like that's just something organic that's going on?
Honestly, you know, the most of like, you know, if I feel any pressure of any kind, it's mostly coming from myself.
Oh shit.
You know, where I'm thinking like, you know, you're your own worst critic. So I'm always kind of trying to hold myself to like a higher standard, you know, where honestly, like a lot of the people that we play for, you know, much more forgiving.
Yeah.
If I play a wrong note or something, like, you know, more times than not, you know, that's something cool and something weird that I played where, you know, I might view it as a mistake. You know, listeners are much more kind of forgiving of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we are our own worst critics. Well, and also, dude, you got a hell of a voice also.
Thank you.
Listen to you sing with Billy and stuff. I mean, it's just amazing. The cast that's up there, everybody in the band. Because I know when we first started out, and a lot of people I know, you know, it's Billy Strings. But then we quickly were like, we saw you at Peach Festival.
Oh yeah.
We saw you at Peach Festival this year, and that was the first time we got a chance to see you all live. And we quickly realized there, plus from seeing all the YouTube clip, it's like this is an amazing band. Everybody on this stage is playing at like their highest level.
Right.
And seeing that, it takes it to a whole nother level, because it's not just Billy Strings, it's the entire band. I mean, you guys keep up with him and put on. I love it too, because the show, like the lighting, the whole production, it's like subtle. It's not too much and everything. It's perfect. It's just such a great experience.
Is that something, Billy, that's an intentional thing is to keep like the lighting and the stage show a little more secondary to the music? Because like we like going and seeing Fish and other bands, and you know, you go see Fish and Kuroda's just destroying you with lights all night long. And your face is getting melted the whole time. But with you guys, it's a different thing. The music is more the thing that's melting your face. Is that more intentional on your guys' part?
Yeah, I mean, I know that you know, our lighting guy Roger's super great at what he does, and like he, I think he has a good sense of kind of when we're playing, you know, the bluegrassy stuff. It's like more chill, and then when we get into like super psychedelic space in our jams, you know, then he's kind of cutting loose.
That's okay. Yeah,
you know,
we saw that with the second usually the second set
on that Saturday night show at Edgefield.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
You guys, I didn't. Like Apple said, the first time we saw you play was at Peach, and so we didn't get like the full experience of your show. But at Edgefield, we got the, you know, full 2 sets, and you guys came out in that second set. And honestly, man, we've seen a lot of bluegrass this year. Like we did Northwest String Summit, we've seen Green Sky, we've done seen a lot. I haven't seen anything like that before. It was wholly and totally unique, brother. And just thank you, first of all, like for what you're doing. Because like I said before, man, you guys are doing something that really hasn't been done in a very long time. Like, you know, those guys like Flatt and Scruggs and Tony Rice, and they brought bluegrass out of the hills, and you guys are changing it. And it's fucking dope, brother.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's for us, it's like we look up to those guys, you know, the Tony Rices and that whole generation. And so it's, you know, we're kind of just playing the music as we want to play it. And, you know, it's cool that there's people that are stoked on it, and, you know, even cooler to this, a lot of people are stoked on it, you know?
Yeah.
Billy, we also have like another cool connection with Tom Neckville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start playing a Neckville banjo?
Well, so I got one of his banjos in 2018.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I mean, that's kind of my main banjo that I play with on stage. Is this banjo that I bought from Tom that I've just loved it.
So how did it change your playing, if at all? Or like what, you know, like the connection, what was that for you? Because those are a pretty magical instrument.
They definitely are. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the other banjo that I play with a lot is, to get technical here, it's like a Gibson with a flat fretboard, and, you know, more kind of classic bluegrass setup, where, you know, my Neckville banjo is, you know, a radius fretboard, and it's kind of like, you know, the way that like the pot works makes it sound good plugged in, and it's a very good amplified banjo, very kind of playable as well. So it's kind of opens up, you know, improv territory a little bit more, you know, for the onstage stuff.
Right on.
That makes sense. When we were at String Summit, we had the pleasure of talking with Tom for a little while, and
cool.
Mel has never really played an instrument before.
Well, no, I never have.
And okay,
well, over the pandemic, a little bit of like the ukulele, but you know, something
cool.
small.
But he had the Galaxy with him.
Wow.
And there's a picture of Mel standing wearing the Galaxy, and you could see that like something happened. And she was like, I want a banjo. I want to learn how to play the banjo. And
it did. The Northwest String Summit definitely brought something out in me. And then I think Tom Neckville definitely sealed the deal. You know, the sound of the banjo is so, it's just very intriguing. It's so quick, and it's so like progressive and it's continuous. And I just love that pace. I love the pace of a bluegrass banjo. And I didn't know with my ear, like, again, No Simple Road's 5 years old. Before that, I was just like a random music lover. I wasn't really paying attention, like you were saying, like to get a little heady, right? Like I never cared to get heady before. I just enjoyed sounds. I enjoyed music. But then when you start to have more of a discerning ear, you really become aware of what sounds you like to hear.
And what sounds good.
Exactly. And so, I've been hearing the banjo at Summit listening to the Dwellers and Torin and like just, just all the greats. And my ear was like, that's what it is. That's what you love. And I was just like blown away. So when, Tom Neckville brings this gorgeous man, like, it was like a unicorn, like, what is this? And you made this thing? Like, what is this crazy? So I just became like, kind of like enraptured by it, and like, I ended up buying a banjo-lele. I don't know if you've ever heard of one of those or seen one of those.
Oh yeah.
So
that's cool.
Oh my gosh, it's adorable. It's the cutest thing in the world. But yeah, like,
awesome.
What's great is that like, and this is for you, for the other Billy, for all of you, Alex, all your musicians, just your random normal playing, no pressure, just you guys doing your own thing, are inspiring these people, random people, older, younger, kids, older people, to just start playing music. And I think that's the best thing that you all are doing, is inspiring more music to be played, and to be played their way, their style. Because we had just talked to Sickard Hollow last night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they were awesome too. And they're, they're new players as well, and they're fantastic. Oh my
gosh, yeah.
So just, and they were very encouraging too, like very like, keep at it, plug at it, don't stop, And I remember when I bought my banjo-lele, I was like, what's the advice that you would give? He's like, don't stop playing and play what you like. The two things. And so I just remembered that. And like I said, just the inspiration of you guys just doing your normal thing, your normal everyday playing, is really like, sending messages to people's hearts. So right on, man.
Right on. Well, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's something that, we don't hear very often from you guys, is like, what turns you on to this music, and like, why this? It could have been anything, man. Like, what was it?
Well, I guess, I'm trying to think the first, so my dad had a banjo laying around the house, because he doesn't play very much anymore, but he, for a long time, would periodically pick up the banjo. And so I was able to learn a couple tricks from him. And around that time, my older brother Josiah showed me Yonder Mountain String Band. And so I kind of latched onto that. That was, I was super into them, kind of getting started. And my dad also had the Bela Fleck Tales from the Acoustic Planet record. I guess the Bluegrass Sessions record.
Okay.
And so that and Yonder Mountain Elevation record were kind of the two of the early favorites. And so, yeah, I kind of, once my dad had taught me some stuff, I kind of sort of started picking up tidbits on my own. And I played electric guitar when I was in high school. Mainly, that was like kind of my favorite thing. I was more into the classic rock side of things. But kind of when I got to college, I had some friends that I would pick with. And so there kind of started being more opportunity to play bluegrass with people. And so I kind of developed on that track, just because there was, it's so spontaneous to just pick with people, and so easy, as opposed to, getting a practice space or doing a rock jam.
We saw like in that article too, and we realized that living up, it's a little different now, but there's not a big bluegrass scene out here in the West Coast and in Portland area. And it sounds like that really going back to the East Coast to like Berkeley and stuff, open that up for you a lot.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think, there's, bluegrass musicians almost everywhere that kind of come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Once you know where to look.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I actually lived in Eugene for a while.
Okay.
And went to U of O for a couple of years before I went to Berkeley. And that, I had some friends that I picked with there. And, then I had a musician buddy from Portland who was going to Berkeley, and he kind of convinced me to audition. And, I knew that I wanted to pursue music, but I wasn't fully kind of committed to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so that was kind of one of the moments when I made a decision to kind of fully go for it.
Think about that, man. What a trip. Like, every day we make thousands of decisions that, am I going to turn right at this street? Or am I going to take the long way? Am I going to have, a soda or a beer? Like, million things that we do that we just like offhandedly don't even think about. And sometimes those decisions, like, am I going to do the audition for this thing or not? Like, I don't know if I really want to do. Yeah, it changed your entire life. Like, it set you on this path that's insane to think about. Like, that there's this one pivotal moment where your life like turned a corner and now here you are.
Yep.
That's crazy. Don't freak out, everybody. It's okay. Apple, chill out.
Oh,
relax.
All right.
Show's not over. Interview's not over. We just have to take a break for a minute, catch our breath, talking to Billiy Failing. And
I'm sorry. The first thing I do when somebody says don't freak out is I freak out.
Why do people always do that, Mel?
Is this a pause or another show
This is a
in
pause.
between?
This is a pause.
It's whatever you want it to be.
That's right. It really is whatever you want it to be.
It's what you make
All
of
right.
it. Yeah. So guess what? Like, if you're not feeling good or you want to feel better and you're up in the Portland area, you can come and see us at one of our fine sponsors, Define Premium Cannabis. We have a location in Hillsborough and one in Forest Grove. And we will take our time with you. We will make you feel at home. No rush. We'll send you out with a discount when you tell us that you're a listener of No Simple Road. 10%. We'll give you a free t-shirt. We'll invite you back. And then you'll even get more discount because you'll get 15% on the second visit.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. If you keep on visiting us, well, I'll make sure that you get taken care of and that you leave our shop with more knowledge and more product to make you happy and carry on your way.
And make you feel good.
Yeah.
That's
make
the
you
most
feel real
important
good.
part of the whole thing. Like, legal weed is all about making you feel better.
Yes.
So, and it's confusing, like you said.
It is.
When you go in, Apple is going to take care of you, or somebody at Forest Grove is going to take care of you. And when you leave, you're going to be happy and you're going to feel great. So go check out Define Premium Cannabis, man.
Yeah. Do it.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Well, yeah, it's interesting how many of those, moments there are, because, I could still be working at the restaurant today if I hadn't met Billy or, or doing whatever, but
this doesn't have anything to do with what we were just talking about, but I was just thinking this. Is it weird for you, man? Like, when you talk to people like us and we know shit about you already?
Well, I mean, it's not too weird. I know that there's, there's interviews that I've done before and stuff like that that's out there already, but it's cool. Yeah. More than weird. It's, it's nice to know that people are interested and
you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at those crowds. We're fucking paying attention, Billy.
Just
A
seems
lot.
like you're really comfortable with where you're at right now in life. Is that right to say that you feel? Because it seems like you're not bothered by it. You enjoy it, like the attention. You're growing clearly as a musician, and you're doing your own side stuff, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, here and there. It's been a super, particularly like 2022 for me has just been bonkers how busy it's been.
Yeah.
Like, we've had a pretty busy tour schedule. My wife and I got married in May.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
Thank
right
you.
on.
We went on our honeymoon. We just bought a house. So it's like
that's jam packed. One thing after another.
Life events don't let up.
Dude, it seems like, I don't know if it's just because of the lens that we're in, because we're around the music scene. And it seems like after COVID, all of us are going through that right now. Of like the brakes are off this thing and the train is going 1,000 miles an hour for everybody.
Got to make up for lost time.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And it's good in a lot of ways, and it's hard. It's really hard. Like I look at your tour schedule and I'm like, I don't know how I don't know how you're talking to us right now. Like you have like 2 days and then you're at it again, and then boom, 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 and up until Halloween you got these huge shows planned and like all this stuff going on.
European tour.
Yeah. And like,
yeah.
How do you keep your head in all of that, man? What grounds you, Billy?
Well, I think just keeping balance, like getting to go home to my wife, Katie, and, our dog, Charlie.
Shout out Katie and Charlie.
Yeah. I have a lot of kind of like a different side of things that I'm into when I'm at home. Like I like to ski. I like to, ride a mountain bike, stuff like that. That's completely different from what I do, on tour as a musician. So it's all about kind of like not burning out on one thing.
Yeah.
That's
just keeping that balance, having a good life at home to go home to when I'm off the road.
What part of the country are you in?
I live in Colorado.
Okay. That's one of the few places that we've like, if we moved from here ever, Colorado is one of the few on the list.
Yep. What part of Colorado?
Boulder, right?
We're in Boulder County.
Okay.
And so how was Nashville? Like, what did you leave because of, Katie, or did you start new, fresh, or, how was that move? Because Nashville's a cool spot for you to be in as well.
Yeah, for sure. Katie was out in Colorado, and so that was kind of the main motivator.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
And the environment too, right? Isn't Colorado so gorgeous?
Yeah. So it's a nice place to go home to, coming off the road. It's, a lot of nature to kind of calm things down.
Yeah.
Seasons.
Seasons. Yeah, we didn't have that in the desert, man. There was 2 seasons, hot and cold. That was it.
Yeah.
Coming up here is different. I would imagine though, like the simple motion that's happening all the time. Like you're on stage and you're playing, you're backstage moving around, then you're on the bus, you're going somewhere else. Like there's people around all the time when you're on tour. When you get home from that, is it a little jarring at first, like surreal, like to transition from one thing to the other?
Yeah, I think, if we're on a really long tour, or, if the tour has been very fast paced, it can be kind of like whiplash sometimes, right. Getting home and having like free time where you're not on a schedule.
Oh, wow.
Like, what do I do with my hands, right?
Yeah.
I can't even, like, we just did like small, 5-day, 4-day stuff, and like coming home after that. Like,
after 5 days, we're worn out for a week.
Well, not just that, not just the worn out part, but like you're home and there's nobody else there and you're in the hallway by yourself and it's like, oh shit, there's nobody else around. Like this is odd for the, you know what I mean? That's why I asked you about that. Cause for you guys, I imagine it's 1,000 miles an hour and then now I'm home. But like you said, that's the stuff that keeps you grounded and keeps your head right. I mean, otherwise there's nothing holding your feet to the ground. It's just see you later.
Yeah. I'd say it's, it's more of kind of just a relief when I'm off the clock, and I can take a nap whenever I want to, or,
free time.
Do things
really.
how I see fit. It's kind of a good counterbalance.
So what about these Halloween shows that you're all notorious for? Last year was it
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then this year,
you're talking to Dorothy.
I know. I know.
Indeed,
so like, where are these ideas coming from? Because that sounds like a really fun, like everything from start to finish, the planning, the costumes, the performance, the whole thing.
Mel's alley here.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it is super fun actually to kind of have a theme to a run of shows like that.
Yeah.
It gives it a fun twist. But for last time we all watched The Wizard of Oz together, and we're kind of coming up with ideas how we could like write the set list to mirror the story, and just little things like that. And I think we each learned a song from that movie, which I did Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Right on.
So yeah, we're starting to get kind of geared up for this Asheville run, and it's going to be exciting to kind of see what we come up with for this and how we adapt it to away from the Shire.
Away from the Shire. That just to be a nerd for a second, that like Lord of the Rings is like one of my favorite things ever. And when I saw the shows announced, I was like, fuck. Oh my God, I want to be there so bad. But yeah. Next time, maybe we'll maybe we'll live stream it. It'll be it'll be something.
Well, especially at Asheville too. We keep hearing that's on our list of places we really want to visit because we hear about the scene in Asheville.
But it's in South Carolina, right? Or is this?
No, it's
Asheville. In Asheville.
Okay. Asheville, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You confused me for a minute. I'm like, wait, am I getting mixed up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was. I had to get that right in my head, but I was like, wait a minute.
Mandela effect. It's north now.
Okay. Oh. Well, and I had a question. Okay, this is gonna be a dumb question. And Mel may even be answered this at this point. When I saw the interview, I don't know what the different styles are. I keep hearing, what is it? Clawhammer.
Oh, clawhammer, yeah.
And like it was one thing that you said you kind of still it like to read that about you as great a player as you are, and then to hear that you struggle with a certain style. What is that difference?
Oh my God.
Okay, so kind of the usual style that I do is like 3-finger or scrug style, where you have basically a thumb pick and two finger picks. And so that you're kind of playing these finger picking patterns. And that's sort of the basis for, that approach to banjo.
Okay.
The scrug style. Clawhammer's a little different. It's more, how can I put it? It's like you're not using picks and you're kind of using your forefinger and your thumb in this kind of particular strummed sort of pattern.
It's a little more percussive, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more percussive, more kind of rhythmic. I mean, not that 3-finger style is not rhythmic, but it's it's more of a rhythmic focus, I guess.
Different styles
And you
different
don't have the
strumming
picks.
styles. Yeah.
Okay, that explains, but because clawhammer sounds kind of like a Neanderthal, which or something, like you're like, you know, I could have looked that up. I'm glad I wanted to ask you that, since even you said you kind of struggled with it, which is kind of cool when you hear a musician that's like really good, it still struggles with a certain style and stuff, because we're always, you know, everybody's always learning.
Yep.
So, and then I remember that too. It's funny because when we had Billy on the show back at the beginning of quarantine, because he happened to be at home. Everybody was stuck at home, so we caught him on a day where he was working on his GTO, and he was getting ready to go fishing, of course. And he was talking. We were amazed to kind of hear him say, he's like, I don't think I'm that great. You know, I'm learning every day. And to hear that from musicians like you guys that we see on stage, it's like, first of all, that's amazing, because how humble. And then plus, you know, what are you going to do? Like, I'm the best. Then you hit a plateau, and why even bother anymore?
Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, like, it's kind of comforting to know that you could always be better than you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's something to work toward.
Yeah. And like having people like Bela Fleck that I look up to, where it's like, you know, he's better than I could be in like 2 lifetimes. You know, it's sort of comforting in a way, because it's like you're always reaching for something, and it's never, you know, you're never quite at a plateau, because there's always, you know, if you keep finding these musicians who are so much better than you to look up to, it kind of keeps you moving forward.
Yeah, it gives you that motivation.
Yeah, but that's a cool way to think about it, man, because, you know, for a long time, when I've played guitar on and off my whole life, right? And like, when I would see somebody that was amazing at guitar, it would actually do the opposite of what you just said. I'd be like, why fucking bother? You know what I mean? Like, I'm never going to be that good. And I could practice 20 hours a day. I'll never get there. But what you're saying right now is the reason that we have players like you and like Bela and others, is because you realize that it doesn't matter.
Well, it's your expression too, like your specific, Billy, your specific expression of the banjo versus, like, you know, Tom's, or, you know, it even both, though you both know how to play and play well and play fantastically, it's 2 different tones, it's 2 different sounds, it's 2 different vibrations,
2 different hearts.
Yeah, and there's no way that you can play the same thing even if you know the same notes, because it's coming out of you differently. And I think that's why, especially when you're in a band, you know, with that, like what you are, where everyone is so, you know, had their craft, they're right there at the peak of their craft, but they're not at the top of it yet. You know what I mean? Like, there's still, like you said, more to go. So it's kind of a wonderful thing to see, like, all these incredible expressions of this band that still has so much more to soar to. And because you're also doing your personal thing, you as a, you know, songwriter and guitar player and banjo player yourself.
Yep.
How cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, in talking about like inspiration and stuff, a lot of the musicians that we speak to, and us too, were and are inspired by Jeff Austin and Early Yonder. And that stuff, there's I can't even put a word to it. I don't know what it is with that, but it's apparent that there's something magical there, because it's so many people's inspiration. What was your, like, who introduced you to that, and how did that find you?
Yeah, so I think my older brother Josiah showed me Yonder for the first time, and I think the way it kind of hit me was like, you know, I'd heard kind of, you know, the classic bluegrass,
right,
you know, Stanley Brothers kind of stuff like that. But Yonder kind of hit me a little differently. And I love all that stuff also, just for the record.
Yeah.
Right.
But I connected to it in a way where it was kind of, it's a more like Western, it's Colorado hippies playing bluegrass. And so I found, it relatable kind of on a new level from that. But yeah, I mean, and there's just, they have such fun with the music, and like, it doesn't follow kind of like the traditional way of bluegrass necessarily. So that was kind of what hooked me in.
Yeah.
So we have Josiah and your dad to thank.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, right on.
Well, the does it's like the Yonder. We tell people that we have always kind of liked bluegrass, but we didn't really get into it until like starting in 2018, really diving deeper. And we saw Yonder Mountain String Band at Northwest String Summit in 18.
It was the year Jeff passed away.
Yeah, without Jeff. And we were blown away. Great show, had a great time. But then a really good friend of ours, Ben, has followed them forever.
Yeah, from the beginning.
And was like, you guys sit down. When one night he came over here, we were partying, we had fun. He's like, let me take you back to Jeff. I mean, some of the stuff that they did with Jeff Oz, it was haunting.
Yeah.
And it was dirty, and it was, it was heavy. And we were like, we had not heard bluegrass like that. And was like, he's like, I need to take you on a learning lesson.
Yeah, we're going
here.
to school, boys.
Let's start at the beginning. And it blew our minds because we were familiar more with the more later rendition of Yonder, and blew our minds. And then also Ben, he's a huge fan, and so are we, of like Kitchen Dwellers. Torrin has that kind of gritty, voice and everything. And it just, and you said this, I forgot who it was, kind of said the same thing, because you're younger and stuff too. Like you said, not discounting any of the traditional stuff, but seeing like Austin and them, it opened it up to this whole new younger generation of musicians. Like, I can do that. Like, this is my peers. This is my group. Like you said, like kind of like hippies playing it and stuff, and turned it into a new thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's it's kind of just a new energy that hadn't been there before. It opened up a new dimension of bluegrass that, brought me in. And honestly, like, kind of through that is where I then worked my way back to the more traditional bluegrass. It kind of, in a sense, opened that up for me.
Yeah.
Same. Same for me.
It's kind of like a backwards learning, which is kind of cool. Like, you get pulled in by one thing, and then it makes you kind of want to learn the structure and the tradition and the history behind it. And then when you know those things, then you can also update and evolve that as well, playing in those traditional styles, but the way that you like to, rock psychedelically and kind of go off in the jams.
Well, and those players that we're talking about, from the traditional guys up through now, have all left their particular mark on music. I know that we don't get to pick as people, but Billy, like, if you could choose what your mark is on music in this genre, what would it be?
Well, I think that, I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's a tough question.
It is a tough one.
I guess just bringing a new sound to the genre. I try to kind of play true to like how I feel the music, and, bring my expression to it, and, just help kind of add to this rich form of music. And yeah, I mean, just, I think there's like a lot that I want to do musically, like even kind of beyond this as well.
What are the plans for the Billiy Failing Band? Like, is anything going on right now? Are you doing anything?
Not a ton going on right now. I mean, I think kind of the primary focus is what I'm doing with Billy, but like it's cool. There's room in that as well for, like for the Renewal album, I contributed to some of the writing for a couple of the tunes on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's I figure at some point there'll be some time. I hope to record another album at some point.
Right on.
On my own.
You guys just did the Renewal Festival and
oh, that looked so fun. That looked so interactive and fun.
Ton of fun.
Yeah.
We weren't there. All I see is pictures of you guys playing on this island with everybody in the water. What was I looking at?
Okay, so we had a set planned. There was a stage set up on the island in this pond,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess it was kind of more of a peninsula, but Scotty, our friend who puts on Winter Wondergrass and that whole side of things, he put us in a boat and was rowing us across the pond to the stage.
Hell yeah!
And all the people at the festival were kind of floating around, so this is very cool to kind of be in the midst of that.
Is this unannounced that you guys are just like all of a sudden in the boat?
I think it was, I'm not sure when it was announced, but I think it might have been kind of day of or day before kind of a thing, so relatively spontaneous.
Oh, I love it.
And then we're, I think it's the first time I've arrived to the stage via boat, which was cool.
Canoe.
Did you see the memes? Any of the memes online about it?
Oh, I haven't.
Dude, the funniest shit, man. That one of them was the famous painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And it was like Billy and the boys pulling up to the Renewal set, and you got it was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
But the pictures of that festival and that weekend and just everything that happened
looked
there,
very intimate.
It did, man.
For a festival. It looked, because we've been going to festivals all summer long, but when I saw the pictures of that, I was like, wow, that looks like a hangout more than a festival. Like doing yoga and like you said, the pond. It just seemed very
like your friend threw the dopest party ever in his backyard or something.
Yeah.
Was that kind of the vibe?
It was a ton of fun. It was, for us getting to hang out around Buena Vista and around the festival ground. Katie and I rode our bikes around the campground.
Fun.
And, up in Buena Vista, it's kind of the start of like peak fall season. So all the leaves were changing. It was just super beautiful.
Right on.
Got to do a little fishing one of the mornings. So
that's on the list next.
Wow.
No complaints here.
Yeah, no.
Well, Billy, thank you so much for being so rad and just sharing time with us and your talents and inspiring me too. Like personally, like same thing that you've seen, artists that are like, wow, like you have a very humble and gratitude attitude, and it comes through. And then you also kick ass. And that's two awesome combinations, like sweetness and I'm going to rock your face off. And so I just want to say thank you for those things and for spending time so that our audience can know who you are and a little bit more about, why we love y'all so much,
Absolutely didn't have to do this.
Sure. Well, thank you guys. Yeah.
And I got one last question before we go, because this is something that I love. being here in Portland, cannabis being legal more around the country and everything. I'm the inventory manager for 2 dispensaries. There's a back and forth on
man,
like
you deal weed.
Like Aaron is one that he's like the mystique and like the outlaw part of it has been taken away from it because Billy is very open about his smoking because you can be now. And then I like see him hanging out with Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson was like the pot smoking outlaw that did it in cops' faces. He didn't care.
Yeah.
And now Billy is kind of like the Willie and the band. I'm just wondering kind of what your take is on that because it's not a bad thing now, and people cannot say that stoners can't get shit done anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think it's it's good. It's I think for myself personally, I don't smoke very much just because I personally don't get shit done.
Okay, yeah, some people are like, yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's it's normalizing. It's this thing that so many of us do. That like, why should there be a stigma around it?
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So,
100%.
I think it's cool that Billy's kind of, taking that stance.
Yeah. And it's a whole lot better. The thing I admire with that too with Billy is it's a whole lot better than promoting alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Right. You brought something up before we go. Like, what was that like playing with Willie, man? Like that's bananas.
Man, it was pretty special. Each night we'd come out for kind of the second to last song of his set, which is Will the Circle Be Unbroken and I'll Fly Away, kind of as a medley. And Billy was playing guitar, and then the rest of the band we'd be gathered around a mic singing, and it was just super cool. One of the nights we got to sing with Charlie Crockett, who I'm a big fan of. And
Wow.
That's
just right afterwards, walking off stage with Charlie Crockett, we were like, oh man, like that was so awesome.
I could see it in your eyes.
That's gotta be that's gotta be like goosebumps too. Like, holy shit, I'm getting goosebumps on stage playing with my heroes. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Last question, then we'll go. With like we were saying at the very beginning, like you guys have this huge groundswell under you and this wave of motion and momentum going on right now. And it's a lot. Like we said, we were all home for 2 years and now the brakes are off and we're going 100 miles an hour. For you, what's the best part of all of this?
Man, I think just getting to play music and connect with people who are into it. It's the music's at the forefront, and just getting to make this the focus of my life. I couldn't ask for anything better.
That's I couldn't ask for a better answer than that.
Much more continued success, and go higher without smoking.
Yeah.
When you come back through Portland, Billy, if you you got family and stuff up here, but if you ever need anything, you know where we're at, man. Doors open.
And I hope to connect with you guys at some point.
Yeah, I have a feeling we may be at Renewal next year, so we'll see you.
And a big congratulations again on the
you
nuptials and everything. You and Katie are so cute together on your Instagram.
Appreciate that. Yeah. We're pretty excited about it all.
You should be.
Yeah. Congrats, man. Much love, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks
Billy,
again, man.
Thank you so much.
Right on. Thank you guys.
Right,
have a good night.
Peace, brother. Okay. All right. That's Billy Failing, everybody.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved his voice at the end. He sounded so like happy and alive,
relaxed and chill. Yeah.
Well, I love the response sometimes when people aren't quite sure of what they're walking into, and
there's 3 of us.
The first thing you see is also our studio with all these colorful lights and stuff, and 3 of us staring at you.
It's got to be weird, man. It's got to be weird. And also, I would think like when you're used to being on the stage and interacting with a crowd and not like that, like one-on-one with fans.
Yeah.
It's got to be weird too, man. And He's fucking rad.
Yes.
That was so much fun. I like I said in the beginning, it's an honor for us to have anybody from Billy Strings Band on the show, and Billy is a very gracious dude to take time with us as busy as they are. That tour that they're doing right now is bananas.
Yeah, and then the tour just rolls on over into more tour. That's why it's so nice to see they're getting a nice little chunk of Thanksgiving break, nice little chunk of Christmas, and they're doing the whole European tour. Can you imagine going over and being in Europe and Norway and Switzerland and Ireland, like
I was thinking
in the holidays right before Christmas?
About that today.
That'd be dope.
I was like, I wonder how many folks from the U.S. because there's a lot of people that do Billy Strings tour.
Yeah.
I wonder if a big portion of those people are going to be doing going to Europe to do the European tour.
I think you'd have to you got to have some coin to do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
it's not like just hopping on the bus across the Atlantic.
You know what, bro? I have been more than amazed in my lifetime to see
the tenacity of music
the
fans,
ingenuity and tenacity of the live music community, man. Like I know people that have gone on tour with a $10 bill in their wallet, and got into every show. So, I don't put it past our people out there. But I just wonder how many people are gonna go do the whole European thing. And then also, I wonder what the reception is like in Europe for bluegrass.
Well, we talked to, I can't think right. We talked to several people who had gone over there and played and said it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, well, especially when you're playing Ireland, we're talking when we had Owsley on with the chieftain stuff and everything. I mean, it's the roots are over there.
Yeah.
Like the medieval music, the Irish music. There's deep roots. And we turned it into bluegrass over here, and now we're sending it back.
Good music gets a great reception everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And those guys are bringing it. So I would be really curious to physically see the crowd at a Billy String show in Dublin.
Yeah.
What does that crowd look like? I want pictures of that, guys. If you could put those up on your Instagram, that would be super cool.
I think that's one I'd pick out of the European tour, Norway and Ireland.
Yeah.
Both of those.
Super rad. So yeah, like we said, we will be back on Monday with the very first ever No Simple Road quiz show hosted by Skydog Disciple. And look, if you want to have a good time on your way to work or on your way home from work on Monday.
This is some silly ass shit.
It's
very silly and super fun.
It's so fun.
And
we got to make fun of each other. We got a little heated, little competition going on.
I'll just say this. One of the questions, I'm going to give you what do you call it?
Teaser.
A teaser. One of the questions was who could do the best impression of Christopher Walken.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, leave it there.
Yep.
In a certain kind of a way.
Oh man. So yeah, that's coming out on Monday. So keep your ear to the ground. It'll be coming out at 4 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. Eastern. That's correct. That's right. That's how it's dropping.
And kudos to anybody that's listening at 4 a.m. Pacific time. You rock.
Well, people wake up early for work.
Go fishing, other things. Yeah.
So here's my thought process behind that. If I put it out at 4 here and it comes out at 7 Eastern, people on the East Coast are driving to work.
And they got it.
And they have it.
I like that.
See? I'm thinking of you
our
out
East
there
Coast people.
in New York or Philly or Delaware or you get the picture.
Yeah, Boston.
Florida.
Florida.
Pensacola.
That's right. There you go. Mel's got something to throw in there.
That's right.
So yeah, we'll be back next week, everybody, with more stuff and things and
a quiz show. Freaking quiz show, man.
I'm so excited for you guys to hear this. I really, really am. If we had the best time. So stoked for y'all to hear it.
Thanks, Billy, for being on the show.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend.
We will be back next week with more stuff and things. Everybody remember, smile at a stranger, take care of each other, safety third, hydrate, and play your guitar and your banjo. Practice. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
what's occurred. And felonies just been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new dawn. And so persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? One simple road. Mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. It features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
This is the story of Whitney Houston.
This is the story of Kurt Cobain.
Of George Michael, of Otis Redding, of Amy Winehouse, of Michael Hutchence, Bob Marley. This is the story of Prince.
It's a new podcast series
about how they died, why they died, and why we're still talking about them so long after.
It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's storytelling.
But it's more than that, because rock stars,
they tell us how we feel. They change our mood.
They change the clothes we wear, the people we hang out with,
the way we remember things.
It's them who give us those ludicrous moments, the ones where you're
jumping around, singing your heart out, feeling understood.
And it's those moments we'll help you remember, the ones you're thinking about right now.
That feeling.
That feeling.
It's coming soon from Crowd Network.
Just search for Death of a Rock Star on your podcast app.
And subscribe now.